What's up, guys? Devadog Gamer here. We're back with more Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and we're actually doing an airline. And for those of you who haven't seen the stream, I'm going to kind of explain exactly how this works. There's VATSIM, a community online, which is a giant, massive, round-the-world community where everybody gets on and flies around the world at once, and they have ATCs, and everything's by the books. Now, we're not going to be doing that in this flight because we still need a few more things to learn before we can actually succeed on that and not be asshats. But what we are doing is we're doing FS Economy. Now, what FS Economy is, it's a mod for FSX that actually allows you to do flights for money and create your own airline, your own air base out of the airline that you can do passengers out of, and buy aircraft, pretty much for the real cost, and the leasing's the real cost for what it would actually cost. And the way you actually go about this is you can actually rent aircraft, select what you want to take where, and then fly it, and you get paid for it. And it's a really cool in-depth system. I just scratched the surface of it and pretty much did kindergarten style of it. But I already have a flight selected, but I'm going to kind of go through and show you exactly, what you would want to do. You could either search by airport or by aircraft. Let's say you want to rent Antonov AN-32. This would be where all those rentable aircraft are, each airport. So there's one in Finland. You'd go here to Finland. Now these are all the jobs in Finland. And here are all the rental aircraft. To rent an Antonov AN-32 would be $4,000 an hour dry. Now, these are all your different charters. You got 22 passengers for $8,000 from, don't even know how to say that, to Pori, Finland. 234 nautical miles, 22 passengers. Now, you'd actually have to make sure that your aircraft can hold that many people. This can hold about 51, it looks like, no matter what the fuel ratio is. Some aircraft can hold more with less fuel and less with more fuel. Some can just all around hold as much as you want. It looks like it'd be about an hour flight with this aircraft. So that's actually a pretty good deal. You'd actually make $4,000 for that. And you could actually... Damn, I actually wish I had this plane. Could make some money on that. You definitely could. At least $4,000. Alright, so let's go to the flight that we have selected. Now, we have a Beechcraft 1900 Delta with 48% fuel. With 48%, it can hold 19 passengers. We're taking, I think it's about 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 people. So, we're going to take them from Newark to Windhelm, Willimantic, Connecticut. 110 nautical mile flight, should be a short flight. Cost $800 an hour to rent. Should take us a little under an hour and get us a good hefty profit. I mean, just one of these passengers pretty much nullifies the rental there. So we're definitely going to make some money. We'll make, is it about $7,000? So we'll make a little over $6,000 on this flight. And from here, you're pretty much done. You have your flight set up, you have exactly what aircraft you're going to rent, where you're going, your cargo and everything. And then from this point on, you just go right into FSX and you fly. What's up, guys? So we're all loaded up, we got our passengers, we're in our Beechcraft 1900, and we are going to get ready to get out of here. We got a few little things to do with the flight plan and then get her out of the gate and get her out of here. But first, for those who've never seen one of these, this is what it looks like. Well, we'll get a better look when it's in the air. Twin turboprop, nice big size, a lot of cargo. Alright, so we're going to get these things started. We need that GPS on. Let's get our flight planner up. I have a pretty... doing these small runs to these smaller airports, there's not really a good wealth of flight plans available online for it. So I actually made one that's not too bad. Shouldn't be that bad. It should be able to... I think that's Bean, not Bean. Fuck. Yeah, see, that's not the right one. I want a Bean. Bean. There we go. 21 nautical miles. Thank you. And we're going to Waypoint Med. Northeast United States, that'd be a 1. Return 80 nautical miles. We're going to ORW Northeast. Boom. Return. And we're going to Links. Northeast United States. And our final, we'd be landing at KIJD. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to try to keep this under 10,000 feet. I want to keep it around that flight level, just so I'm out of the traffic of everybody else. And apparently 10,000 is not good enough for that. Alright, and then we're going to take it to around 8,000 at ORW. Then I want to be hanging around 3,000 at Lynx, because that should be setting up for an approach. And I'm not sure what the altitude there is. So I'm going to set that for 500. Because we're going to be off autopilot anyways for that. So 10,000, 8,000. Alright, so the flight plan should be good. We're going to pop that down there. And then just to double check, we're going to bring this up, which will actually show us the flight plan here. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Looks good. So I don't think we're going to have many problems. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and get our lights on. And then those are on ground. Alright, let's check our fuel. Fuel levels seem good. Alright, I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and get some clearance to get out of here. Newer ground. I'm going to depart north. And I don't know where the fuck we are in this airport, so let me get this parking brake off.
November 777, Niner Echo, taxi to and hold short of runway 4. Left via taxiway, Romeo Delta, Alpha Victor, November Delta, Alpha Delta. Contact tower on 134.05 when ready.
Alright, acknowledge the taxi clearance.
To and hold short, runway 4, left. Taxiway, Romeo Delta, Alpha Victor, November Delta, Papa Delta, 7, Niner Echo.
Alright, and that's where we're taxiing to, it looks like. Alright, so we're starting our taxi. Things are going good, at least, so far. Completely missed that turn. There's a truck. Watch yourself, Mr. Truck! We don't want to be mincemeat today. Now, hopefully this autopilot system works, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, we're slowly making it. Now, to actually buy this Beechcraft 1900 Delta is going to be about $1.1 million. I think we're going to lease it, which is like a down payment of like $175,000. Isn't too bad. I mean, we could afford that. Just do a bunch of cargo hops, renting aircraft, etc., and then it's ours. You can't buy 737s or 747s or any of that shit right now. You can do flights with them, but you can't buy them. I think the biggest you can buy is like a C-130 or a Constellation with passenger size, which is actually one of our goals. We want to get one of those aircraft and actually put it in. Okay, so let's make the turn. Ooh, drifted that a little bit. Drifted that one too. Wow, I am all over the taxiway. definitely going to be a weird flight. We got me taking off at 4 left, which isn't that bad. Should put me pretty much on a northerly heading. And we're gonna kind of just get off. We're just gonna use the ATC for clearance. There's the props. This is a very nice payware aircraft. This is the Coronado Beechcraft 1900 Delta. Very awesome payware. I like it a lot. Lots of functionality in it. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Looks like we got traffic on 4L. We're almost there. To right or 4L. Alright, so we're gonna have to hold short right up here. Let this Airbus take off. I think that's an Airbus. Yeah, there he goes. He's taking off anyways. Alright, so let's turn off the taxi. Oh! Tune to the tower. Since I didn't file a flight plan through FSX, it counts as a VFR, even though it's not a VFR, it's an IFR. Thank you.
United 1289. Contact New York departure on 127.6.
So we're just going to double check everything, make sure everything's good. Auto feathers off, not too worried about that. Yeah, not really anything crazy. Just double check. I'm not really sure what I should check, honestly. We're doing about 100 pounds of fuel per hour each engine. Just on idle. That's crazy. Okay, can I have clearance, please? Can I have clearance? Tower, please. Let's see if I can show you the outside again. Yeah, it's just being weird. Caution, wake turbulence. What are we waiting for? Fuck it. I don't need you. Get our flaps down into position. This is a very easy aircraft to fly. She's not really difficult in any way.
November 777.
Oh, thank you.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 4 left. North departure approved. Cleared
Thank
for
you.
takeoff. Runway 4 left. 7
And let's get her spooled up. If I can get this ATC window out of here. Thank you. Alright, let's do this. Alright, we're pushing her out of here. Takeoff speed. Now. Let's let her gain a little more speed. We got a lot of runway. And let's pull her back slowly. There we go. Okay. Gear up. We are airborne. So we're going to increase the throttle a bit. Listen to that turbo prop. That thing's awesome. Alright, now let's try to get our nav system on. Let's see if this actually works. Nav is engaged.
You're leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
She's stalling. Bring her back down. Bring her down, autopilot. Bring us up to 3,000. Maybe the autopilot will adjust her. The autopilot doesn't want to be working today, apparently. So we are gonna get her climbing at least, because we are way too low. I don't know why she was having issues. But we are on the correct heading, it's just it didn't want to. We're gonna change that to 1,000. I don't know why, that's kind of weird. This is 4. And this is New York City over there. Very nice, right? So we're at least following our waypoint. I can verify through the GPS. Yeah, there's our first A-beam waypoint. We're supposed to be at 4,000 feet at this point, I think. Let me find out. I think it was 4,000. 4,200. So we're actually going to give her a little more throttle. We got fuel to burn. So we need to start climbing. They actually get flaps up. Totally forgot about that. Should increase our rate of climb. So we have some catching up to do with the flight plan, at least. Yeah, we're about 10 nautical miles out. We're at 3,100. We're actually gaining speed, wow. Alright, I guess we're gonna 2,500 feet per minute increase. Let's see if she actually stops and hold her. Select. There we go, that's awesome. Perfect, okay, so now we can throttle back. We're actually leveling out. Alright, so we're on course. Just make sure everything happens that's supposed to happen on the next waypoint up here ahead, and we'll be good. So just enjoy the flight. New York City. What the hell? What the fuck was that about? Alright, so our first waypoint's coming up here, the A-beam waypoints. About 5 nautical miles, so it'll be ETA 1 minute. So everything's looking good so far. We're on our flight plan. Our next waypoint is a climb to 10,000 feet, and then after that we'll start our descent down. Now that we're getting away from the city, frames are getting a little better, unless you look over there. You know, like with any game. Look at all the pretty stuff. Oh god, the frames. The frames. We're actually doing really good. We're doing 215 kilometers. This whole flight might be pretty quick. Alright, we should be starting our turn up here ahead in a second. There's our turn. And it looks like we're increasing altitude. Let's check this. It's 700 a minute. Nice. So we got 16 minutes. And we need to gain about 6,000 in altitude. It's not bad. It's actually a good set number. So I like that. That works, man. That really works. It's a nice gentle climb. Alright, so we're going to pick this back up once we start our descent, which should be in about 20 minutes or so. Okay, we've just started our descent down from 10,000, and we're currently 6 minutes out from the next waypoint, which would put us at 8,000 feet. And then from there, it is a 45 nautical mile journey down to 3,000 feet. Well, actually, a 10 nautical mile journey to 3,000 feet, and that should put us in line with the runway up at the Connecticut airfield from there. And at that point, that last Lynx waypoint, we're going to go ahead and turn off our autopilot and take control of the aircraft ourselves. So we're just watching this to make sure everything's going all right now. Actually, don't think we're going to meet our 8,000 window in time. Yeah, we are. We should. 5 minutes, we're going to be at 8,000 here in a second. Now, I'm worried about the 8,000 to... I'm actually going to change the 8,000 to a 6,000, because I don't think we're going to meet that window here soon. So let me go ahead and increase our rate of descent. We're actually getting close to overspeeding, so I'm going to throttle back a bit. There ain't no such thing as an actual autopilot. You still gotta watch her, man. You still gotta watch her. It's not like a 737 where you could walk away and play games. This still has a little bit more hands-on to it, which is cool because it keeps you interested. I mean, throwing a switch for an autopilot can be boring, just letting the plane fly itself. So it's kind of cool to actually, you know, still have tasks to manage. We're still 5 minutes out. We'll reach our 6,000 envelope. So from that point, it'll be a little easier to drop to 3,000 than our current altitude. Yeah, we're definitely going to make our window. That's cool. Alright, I like that. Let's bring up the other GPS. This one's a little easier to do. And that Lynx turn, that turn from Lynx is definitely a... Actually, let's get the weather overlay. It's traffic. We got 2 aircraft off to our right. Base map. Let's do terrain. Elevation's good. No crazy elevation on us. And I think these 2 aircraft are flying into Newark, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. We've reached 7,000. We're still on our way down to 6,000. Still got a little ways to go. Actually, I put 6,800, didn't I? My bad. My plane's leveling out. I'm like, why are you leveling out, dude? think my FSX is mad because I didn't set my heading indicator. Alright, we're still descending. We're about 3 minutes out from our next waypoint. After this turn on the waypoint, I think things are going to get a little hairy because that's when we're going to have to start dropping speed and altitude pretty quick. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the speed down in time. I'm pretty sure I can get the altitude down in time. It's just a matter of balancing it with the speed of descent into that zone. Alright, so we're approaching 6,000. I probably didn't have to do this drastic of a drop, honestly. I mean, we're still 3 minutes out. So that's not too bad. Alright, we're going to make our altitude. Alright, so we're going to pick this up back at the next waypoint. Alright, so we're making our turn now. We should be descending here a little bit, 700 a minute to 3,000 feet. And then we'll start our final turn in 3 minutes. Should put us around where we need to go. I'm actually going to start throttling back a bit. This actually might be a bit of a hairy landing. I should have actually gone up to another waypoint up here before I hit the Lynx one, because this is going to be a full-on like 90-degree turn landing. Yeah, this is going to be a sketchy landing, to say the least. Actually going to decrease our descent a bit more. We got 2 minutes. I know I throttled back way too much. So we got 2 minutes, 10 nautical miles to go in that window. Put all the traffic behind us. I know. Should be able to start seeing the airport here soon. Should be right over here somewhere. Don't see the airport. We're approaching 3,000 feet here. Got 1 minute to go. Should be off at a lake over here somewhere. Reach 3,000 feet. We're going to start our turn here, so we're going to get ready to turn this nav off in a minute. 3 nautical miles. I feel like we should have had a little higher of a descent. There's the airport right over there. It's actually not bad. It's not a bad setup. Could have been a whole lot worse. We're holding at about 160 knots. A little more throttle. We should be starting our turn here in a second. Let's go ahead and get that off. Open up our flight plan. We're going to turn off the autopilot from here. And just waiting to make this turn. Autopilot any second now. Any second now. There we go, making our turn. Flaps to 1. Alright, we're coming around. Looking like we're offline just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it put us on course. We're gonna go ahead and turn the whole nav system off. So, we have the plane. Throw the gear down. We're gonna bring her around for landing. It didn't give us too bad of a lineup. I mean, we gotta come in at a bit steep of an angle of attack. Not too bad. I like to come in shallow, honestly. That's just me. So we're gonna come in a little bit. Just above, holding just above stall. Yeah, we're coming in a little steep here. But there is terrain right here in front of us. So it's kind of nice to be able to miss that. Throttle back just a bit more. Ensure that our gear is down. We're still bringing her in for landing. Drop flaps one more time. Increase speed just a little bit. Yes, 500, I know. Yeah, we're coming in a little steep on her. So we're going to start leveling out just about here. There's trees. Wow, those trees are really fucking close. Alright, so let's start flaring her. Throttle back. Shit, we might have to do a go around. No, I might be able to put her on the ground in time. That was rough. Wow. Oh shit, we're sliding. We're losing her. Oh, oh no, we came off the runway just a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Remind me not to fly in the winter. So we're gonna move on over to taxi over there now. Let's bring these flaps up. That was actually a terrible landing. I have to readjust these flight plans just a little bit. All right. We'll go park her over near this hangar. And deliver our passengers safe and sound, even though they got one hell of a landing. Alright. Throw on the parking brake. And that's it. All you gotta do is throw on the parking brake, sends all the info, your flight's completed and logged. Alright guys, you wanna see more Dog Airlines? Let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.